Welcome to the Bruce Williams channel. On my wrist is the Omega Seamaster Professional white dial, and I've placed it on a Zealande red fitted rubber strap. And I know what you're thinking, Bruce, you're trying to look like Mr. Wonderful. You're copying Kevin O'Leary. And admittedly, the look, is very much reminiscent of his individual style. But I was wearing this suit earlier today. I do go to church every week. And so I was wearing my Sunday best and I was wearing this watch. And I thought, Bruce, don't make this combination here. You already look like a troll enough. Why put a sport watch with a red rubber strap on a suit and tie? But I did it anyways, and you know what? I'm glad I did because it's actually a really fun combination. And it kind of makes me think that Kevin O'Leary has the jump on us all because it's a cool look. You wouldn't think to fit a luxury watch on a rubber strap, a dive watch with a sport coat and a tie, but there is something pretty cool about it, a graceful boldness that is kind of defying the rules of etiquette. And I don't know, I kind of like that. So today, that's what I'm wearing. And we're going to do a product presentation on this specific strap, as well as a black, variation of this Zealande product. And before we get into the review, I would like to say that I've mispronounced this brand for a little while now. And I think some of you also may kind of be in a similar situation. It's commonly said Zealande, and a Zealande is incorrect. The way you pronounce this brand is Zealande. And I actually have some audio from the brand instructing on how to pronounce their name. And let me play that for you.
Zealande. Zealande.
So, Zealande. That's how you say it. I'm going to do my best to pronounce it properly. Admittedly, I'm not the best at pronunciation. I try, but I'm not always successful. This brand makes fitted, vulcanized premium FKM rubber straps that will fit a number of different models from various brands, from Rolex to Omega to Tudor. Let's see, Seiko, JLC, there's a number of different brands, and all of that is found on their website, which I will link in the video description. And I'd also like to say that you could consider this a sponsored presentation because I was gifted this red rubber strap. I was gifted the black rubber strap. I did not have to pay for them, and I'm enjoying them on my Omega Seamaster. So that being said, like all my sponsored reviews, I'm not just going to be positive here. We're going to take a look at the details. And if there's any areas for improvement or negative elements, I'm not going to hesitate to highlight those. We're going to be completely honest and transparent in this product presentation. So that being said, let's take a look at this strap. And again, I'm going to show it to you on my Seamaster Professional. Most of my wrist shots are going to be on the red rubber strap as opposed to the black rubber strap. And that's because I like wearing this on the red rubber. There's something about taking that red Seamaster signature on the white zirconium dioxide polished dial and celebrating it and blasting it onto the rest of the watch and taking what was an accent color and making it the dominant color of the overall look. So I've been wearing this a lot on the red. In fact, I thought I'd be wearing it on the black most of the time, but it's just been opposite. And so anyways, here are the wrist shots. Here are the macro shots and the wrist rolls of this combination. It's a pretty sharp combination. We have a 20 millimeter width, a 2 millimeter taper, which can be a big deal because with this specific watch, it has a lovely bracelet, but the bracelet is a little bit hefty. It's non-tapering, it's a little bit thick, and it really adds to the presence and to the weight, which I personally like, but sometimes it's nice just to take it off and have this fun color combination, have the taper, have the comfort, but yet, still retain that water resistance. And then the added benefit of added scratch protection because stainless steel, it scratches pretty easy, and premium vulcanized rubber is fairly forgiving when it comes to those minor nicks and bumps and scrapes, which can be a nice thing on a luxury watch to kind of preserve the look of your bracelet by not wearing it in sport activities all of the time. Now, looking at the texture here, you guys can see there is a matte texture. It's not entirely smooth, but it's not overly granularized like you can find on some other aftermarket rubber strap products. The other thing that's nice, we do have good color saturation, but we don't have, a dust fingerprint or lint water stain magnet like some, more silicone straps I'm looking really at Seiko have a tendency to do. This ends up just looking good, feeling good, and being comfortable on wrist. Now, here's the thing. I said I would be completely honest. Some of you may remember I did a video on the OEM rubber fitted strap from Omega. And I've got to say that one is still my favorite when it comes to a fitted rubber strap. I like the macro detail of, the texture in the rubber, the brushing, the matte finish, the wave pattern on the back of the strap. I like that little, triangle and buttonhole so that the floating keeper never really leaves and floats around. I like the design of the buckle. I think that strap really fits the Seamaster very well. And here's the thing. It's kind of expensive. You have to pay for that nicety. You pay for the strap. You pay for the buckle separately. The Swatch Group, yes, they do want to nickel and dime you a little bit with paying for every single little component of a rubber strap, but it's a fantastic product. And then where does that leave Zealande?
Zealande.
Because this is a really sharp look. It's a nice look. There's nothing glaringly negative about it. But the price is $175, which is usually going to be half or less than half than what you would spend on an OEM offering. So I will say I like the OEM a little bit more personally, but where is the value had? Could you be happy like I've been happy with this bold red color from Zealande? Yeah, you've got to answer that question for yourself. Now, Zealande offers this for this current generation Seamaster, but one of the nice things is they're not playing recency bias. You can go to previous generations and buy straps that would fit with those specific models, like the flat ceramic dial, which I've owned in the past, or even the generation prior to that with the Cal 1120 or the quartz version. Say you have a Peter Blake, you can buy a strap that fits the Peter Blake in addition to the other generations of the Seamaster. That just kind of shows me that Zealande is trying to cater to the watch enthusiast who may have been collecting for years and years, and their watches, might span a full decade or 2 decades. And they want to play with straps. They want to play with the feel, the look of some of their beloved watches that have been discontinued for years. I like the fact that Zealande is kind of thinking about that type of consumer and not just the current market generation. Now let's wrap up this presentation with a couple suggestions for Zealande to improve their product catalog. One would be to offer a longer length offering for those of us that have larger wrists. Now I do have rather large wrists. They're 7.25 inches in circumference. And the way this strap fits on my wrist, I have 2 extra pinholes for the buckle. So I could expand this 2 different positions and still be able to wear the strap, but it's on the tail end of the expandability, and you never want to wear a strap on the last buckle. You can't utilize the floating keeper. In fact, I had to take the floating keeper off of this for my fit here, and so I think a longer offering would just be a good thing, for the product catalog. And here's another suggestion, and I don't want to sound like a copycat. I know a competitor to Zealande does this, but I think it's a pretty compelling idea, and that is to offer a strap in these awesome bold colors. Again, I think the bold colors are more exciting than the more traditional offerings. But offer the product that would be compatible on an OEM deployant buckle. Say for the Seamaster, I could use the push button deployant with the micro extension system. How cool would this be to have my awesome watch head with the white wave dial, the bold use of red, and on the backside, I had the OEM buckle? I think that could be a pretty compelling thing. And I wonder if other brands are going to do that, like what we find from a different brand on the market. I think that could be a compelling thing, something to consider. So that brings me to the conclusion of this product presentation. I'm going to leave you with a link to Zealande's website. You can also find this product on Hodinkie's website. And then there's one other thing that I think is worth noting. If you buy a Zealande strap, whether it's for Seiko or Rolex or Omega, Tudor, whatever the brand may be, Tag Heuer, you can take a money shot of your wrist with that pairing and then share it on social media. Use the hashtag MyZealandeStrap, and Zealande will look for that hashtag and take these awesome photos from their customers, and then they promote them on their own social media. So you could get reposted by a brand with a pretty significant following. That's kind of a cool thing. So all of that is in the description. Thank you for watching today. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys next time. Mega for a tutor. Let's see. You can probably hear my daughter having a tantrum upstairs. Forgive me there. In fact, I'll be right back. You guys know how it goes if you have kids. It sounds like bloody murder is happening, but they're just fighting over who gets to be which doll in the game. I love being a dad.